So today we will learn about monoclonal antibodies and the technology we use to produce monoclonal antibodies. Okay, the technology that is known as hybridoma technology. Okay, so before proceeding to the main topic, a brief history. This technology was invented by George Kohler and Cesar Milstein in 1975, and they got Nobel Prize in 1984 for this discovery. Okay, so what they did, they made a hybrid cell that can produce a number of monoclonal antibodies. So first they made the hybrid cell which can produce monoclonal antibodies against a specific antigen. Okay, or many specific antigens. Each monoclonal antibody can be produced from the hybrid cell produced by hybridoma technology. Okay, clear? Now, what is antibody? What is antibody? We will learn about monoclonal antibody production technology, that is hybridoma technology. So, first we should know about antibody. What is antibody? I will not go into the details. What is the definition of antibody? It is the protein called immunoglobulins produced by our immune system when a pathogen or a foreign body is introduced in our system, right? Against bacteria and virus. Sometimes it can be body's own cells also. In autoimmunity, what happens? Body produces antibodies against its own cells. That is known as autoantibody. So, against any antigen, whatever is antigenic in nature for body will produce antibodies against them, and they are produced by, antibodies are produced by plasma cells. Plasma cells in our, where? What are the organs that produce plasma cell? So, plasma cell is derived from B cells. B cells, they come from stem cells in our bone marrow. Okay, so in bone marrow, B cells and T cells are formed. B cells, they come to circulation and produce plasma cell, mainly in the organs of spleen, lymph nodes, right? And what happens to the T cells? T cells goes to the thymus gland, and they produce T cells, mature T cells. Okay, so here we can see it is a structure of basic antibody, right? It is a dimeric structure, contains 2 heavy chain and 2 light chain with 2 parts, variable region and constant region. These 2 are connected by a disulfide bridge or hinge. Okay, and this part is antigenic binding site, where both the heavy chain and light chain is present, right? So, for this antibody, how many antigens can bind? For a single antibody, dimeric antibody, how many antibodies can bind? Antigens can bind? There are 2 antigen binding sites, one is here, one is here. So, one dimeric antibody can bind 2 antigens, and for one particular antibody, it can bind a specific antigen. Okay. And monoclonal antibodies, they are antibodies that are identical. Okay, they are the same antibodies produced by the one type of immune cell, that is a clone of a single parent cell. So, what are the types of antibodies we know? Immunoglobulins can be of 5 types, right? So they are polyclonal, various antibodies, and they can attach various antigenic epitopes. What are the epitopes? The portion of antigen which gives the signal to the antibody binding specific antigen binding site of antibody. The part that gives a specific signal for antigen binding site of the antibody is known as the epitope of an antigen. So antigen is covered by epitopes. It can be single type of epitope, can be different type of epitopes. So for a particular antigen, many antibodies can bind to that antigen according to the epitopes present. So one epitope will bind to one antigen binding site of one antibody. Okay. Now here, what is monoclonal antibody? They are the antibodies that are identical. So they are similar. Why similar? Because they are produced from the same immune cell, single parent cell of the immune system, and they are basically produced by plasma cell. Each monoclonal antibody recognizes a specific antigen. Therefore, it is a pure type of antibody. Okay. So what will be the other type of antibody if not monoclonal? If not monoclonal, what will be the other type of antibody? That will be conventional or polyclonal antibodies. Okay, so polyclonal is nothing but the mixture of various monoclonal antibodies found in our serum. Our blood serum contains polyclonal antibodies that are specific for various epitopes of various antigens, right? Or a single antigen. If a single antigen contains 3 epitopes, our serum will have 3 different type of monoclonal antibody mixed in the serum, and that is known as polyclonal antibodies. Okay, they are produced by different B cells that recognize the different epitopes. So how this plasma cell is formed? Once an antigen enters the body, it comes in the vicinity of B cells. B cells will engulf them. Okay, B cells will engulf the antigens and will process the epitopes, various epitopes, and they will present the epitopes to T cells, right? T cells, and it is expressed by MHC protein. So the epitopes that are presented to the T cells will help in release of cytokines. That cytokine will help in maturation of B cells to plasma cells. এটা পড়ানো হয়ে গেছে ইমিউনিটিতে, ইমিউনোলজির বেসিক পার্টে এটা পড়ানো হয়ে গেছে, you guys know this. So এইবার কি হচ্ছে, each of these individual antibodies recognizes a unique epitope. So all the plasma cells that are produced after a B cell engulfed on antigen and presented different epitopes to the T cells, different plasma cells against those epitopes will be produced. So as there are different epitopes, different antibodies will be produced, and that mixture is known as polyclonal antibody, right? Now, to overcome limitations of polyclonal antibodies, researchers invented new methodology to produce monoclonal antibody. So what is the problem in polyclonal antibody? Suppose one specific epitope is antigenic or pathogenic for body. We need antibody against that particular epitope only, but body is producing multiple antibodies. We don't need polyclonal antibodies, we need particular one antibody against a particular one epitope that is pathogenic. So we need to produce more and more antibody against that particular epitope, and that is nothing but monoclonal antibody against that particular epitope. We don't need a mixture, we need a particular monoclonal antibody. But in our body it is not possible, our body produces a mixture of monoclonal antibodies. So to produce monoclonal antibodies, the new technology was invented, that is hybridoma technology. What happens? Single antibodies can be made by fusing antibody producing cells with an immortalized cell line, resulting in a cell called hybridoma. So hybrid, from the term hybrid, we can easily say it is a fusion of two different things. And if we are talking about a cell, hybridoma cell, so it is a end product of fusion of two cells, right? So two cells will be combined and it will form a hybrid cell. So what are the two cell lines, or what are the two cells that are hybridized to form the hybridoma cell? One is an antibody producing cell. So till now we have already discussed what is the antibody producing cell in our body. Plasma cell. I have discussed thoroughly what are the steps and how antibodies are produced, right? So once the cytokines are released, when B cell and T cell they are attached, the cytokines helps in formation of plasma cell, and one plasma cell will produce one particular type of antibody, right? Now, so with a plasma cell we will fuse one immortalized cell. Why? Why immortalized cell? We need a continuous production of antibodies, right? So plasma cells, they have their lifetime. So once the lifetime is over for a single plasma cell, it will die. It will die automatically, right? So for the continuous production of particular antibody, we need to fuse one plasma cell with an immortal cell. And what are the immortal cells in our body? Do we have immortal cells? No. Basically no. But what are the immortal cells? Cancer cells. So who can proliferate on their own, right? So we have to fuse a cancer cell or a cell that has those property of proliferating on its own with an antibody producing cell, that is plasma cell, and we will produce a hybridoma. That cell, fused cell or hybrid cell, is known as hybridoma. Okay, and the technique is known as hybridoma technique. Clear? Now these are the differences between monoclonal and polyclonal antibodies. So monoclonal antibody production is expensive, whereas polyclonal antibody production is inexpensive. Here the production time is long. So to produce monoclonal antibodies, it takes a longer duration, whereas polyclonal antibodies can be produced rapidly. Large quantities of specific antibodies can be formed from monoclonal antibody production method, whereas large quantities of non-specific antibodies are formed in polyclonal antibodies. I discussed already. Here monoclonal antibodies, they recognize a single epitope of an antigen, whereas polyclonal antibodies recognize multiple epitopes on an antigen. Clear? Basic differences. And the production is continuous and uniform, whereas different batches vary in composition for polyclonal antibodies. So in case of monoclonal antibody, the hybridoma cell will produce uniform or similar type of antibody for a longer period, and as the cell will be immortal, it will produce on and on. Okay, but the polyclonal antibody, they are produced in batches, and all the batches can vary in composition of different type of antibodies. Okay, now see, if this yellow portion, this is an antigen, and here it is representing three different epitopes. Okay, green one, red one and blue one, they are the different epitopes of that antigen. What happens when polyclonal antibody is present? Polyclonal antibodies will bind all the epitopes, which might be non-specific in most of the epitopes, for most of the epitopes. But if the green one, if the green epitope is pathogenic, monoclonal antibodies can bind only that epitopes, and that will help in destruction of that particular antigen. Okay, বোঝা গেছে? So if green one is the particular pathogenic epitope and we can produce antibodies against this epitope only, it will be easier to form the antigen antibody complex and for the destruction of the antigen. Okay. Now coming to the principle of hybridoma technology. So the hybrid cell has a capacity of antibody production derived from B cells, from spleen cells, and at the same time it can divide continuously by the quality derived from myeloma cell. Now what is myeloma? What is myeloma? It is the cancer of myeloid cells. Right? Cancer of myeloid series of cells, and we take B cells from spleen and myeloma cells from our myeloid cancer tissue. Okay. Then by combining the desired qualities of both the cells, the technology ensures large antibody production of single specificity. Clear? Now, specific hybridomas produce monoclonal antibodies in artificial media, and this technology is known as hybridoma technique. Now, procedure. These are the 6 steps of hybridoma technology. What are they? Immunization of specific animal which will generate hybridoma cell with spleen cell. So we have to, first step is immunization of a specific animal. We mainly use, or in labs mainly rats are used, okay, and they are immunized with a specific antigen against which we are trying to form monoclonal antibodies. So that animal is first immunized with the antigen, and in its spleen various B cells will be produced against that antigen. তাই তো একটা animal ke rat ke we immunized or we injected with antigen. So in the rat's body, its immune system will produce B cells, increased B cells will be produced in the spleen. Next, isolation of myeloma cells, and this is done from a culture, okay, from a cultured tissue or a cancerous tissue from a lab grown animal. We collect the myeloma cells also. Then the spleen cells collected from the animal and myeloma cell, they are fused. Okay, so we have to collect the spleen cells, we have to collect the myeloma cells. Now in an artificial environment, we have to fuse both the cells, the plasma cells or the beta cell B cells from the rat, and then the myeloma cell from the tumor tissue. Next, after fusion, the cells are put in HAT medium. HAT is the specific medium for hybridoma technology. It helps in proliferation of the hybridoma cells only. Okay, I will discuss. Next, isolation of hybridoma cells. After the incubation in HAT medium, the hybridoma cells will proliferate and then isolation is done. Then screening of hybridoma cells. Screening means identification of individual monoclonal antibodies. Okay, so this is an overview. What happens? Antigen is introduced in this animal's body and spleen cells are collected, and from here myeloma cells are also collected. Now they are fused in PEG medium, okay, where the hybridoma is produced. Now the hybridoma cells, they are put in a HAT medium, okay. So from HAT medium, different hybridoma will proliferate, and then the hybridomas, they are screened and they are put in vitro or in vivo for the production of monoclonal antibodies. Now immunization, what happens? I already told that an antigen is injected to a mice. Here the spleen is in spleen it activates the B cell production, and now the plasma cells are produced. They can produce monoclonal antibody. Now we isolate the plasma cells from the spleen of the animal. Now isolation of myeloma cell. Myeloma cells are cancerous cells which are isolated from bone marrow, and they are generally immortal in nature, which never dies, and multiplication property is there. Okay, continuous multiplication is there. Now fusion of both the cells, it requires PEG, that is polyethylene glycol medium for fusion. Okay, so it's not very easy to fuse two different types of cells, but as both the cells, the myeloma cell and the plasma cell, both comes from the bone marrow, তাই তো? It is easier, তাই তো? নাহলে ক্যান্সার তো অনেক টিস্যুরই হতে পারে। So why we take only myeloma cells? Because both the precursors, both the cells come from a same precursor, that is bone marrow stem cells, তাই তো? And it is easier in polyethylene glycol medium. Now fusion between spleen cell and myeloma cell, they produce 5 different types of cell. What are the 5 different types of cells? 2 types of cells were there, plasma cell and myeloma cell. So fused plasma cell, 2 plasma cell can fuse on their own. Fused myeloma cell, 2 myeloma cell can fuse on their own. And 1 hybridoma cell, that is fusion of plasma cell and myeloma cell, and unfused plasma and unfused myeloma cell. So these 5 types of cells will be found in the fusion plate, right? Clear? When we are doing the fusion technique, we take 1 plasma cell and a group of plasma cells and a group of myeloma cells. So in the plate, after fusion, how many types of cell will be found? Fused plasma cells, 2 plasma cells fused with each other, because PEG is there. What is PEG? Polyethylene glycol. It helps in fusion of cells. Okay, so many cells are there, so they will fuse with each other. So three kind of fused cells will be produced. One is fused plasma, one is fused myeloma, one is hybridoma, and there will be loose plasma cells, unfused, and loose unfused myeloma cells. Bujha gache? Now coming to the next part, that is in HAT medium, cells cannot undergo de novo synthesis due to presence of aminopterin in HAT medium, which blocks dihydrofolate enzyme, which is necessary for de novo synthesis. এই কি অনেক চলে গেছে, হ্যাঁ এই যে। Now selection of HAT medium. What is HAT medium? It is nothing but a combination of hypoxanthine, aminopterin and thymidine. Okay, so once we get all the cells, we have to transfer them to HAT medium. So before multiplication of antibody, it needs to synthesize new copy of DNA, how the cells proliferate or how cells multiply. Before cell multiplication, DNA multiplication occurs. So for that, new copy of DNA should be synthesized, and for its synthesis, it requires nucleotide. Taito. Now for synthesis of nucleotide, 2 pathways are there, we know, salvage pathway and de novo pathway. So salvage pathway uses the degraded purines, taito. But for de novo synthesis, it is from the basic elements, de novo, or the new synthesis, new nucleotides are synthesized. In salvage pathway, it requires degraded parts of old nucleotide to produce the new nucleotide, whereas in de novo synthesis, completely new nucleotides are synthesized from small molecules like sugar and amino acid. Okay, so in HAT medium, what happens? HAT is hypoxanthine, aminopterin and thymidine medium. Okay, so the aminopterin part, it prevents or it blocks the dihydrofolate enzyme, which is required for de novo synthesis. So de novo synthesis cannot occur in HAT medium, right? So de novo medium, de novo synthesis procedure, that is what happens in de novo procedure? It forms new nucleotide, right? From basic elements. But in HAT medium, as aminopterin is there, de novo process is inhibited or blocked. So only salvage pathway is possible in the HAT medium. Now what happens? In salvage pathway also, HGPRT enzyme is required. What is HGPRT? Hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase enzyme. Okay, so you have already studied de novo synthesis and salvage pathway of purine and pyrimidine. So this HGPRT enzyme is required for the salvage pathway. But here what happens, in our myeloma series of cells, HGPRT enzyme is absent. Okay, so the primary myeloma cells, they were HGPRT negative, and the spleen cells, they are HGPRT positive. Okay, so in our hybridoma mixture, from all the 5 types of cells, which cells will survive? Myeloma cells, fused and unfused, both will not survive, as de novo synthesis is blocked and salvage pathway will not occur in the myeloma series as they are HGPRT negative. Okay, so fused plasma cell, HGPRT present, in hybridoma HGPRT present, and in unfused plasma HGPRT present. Now see one thing, can plasma cell multiply on its own? Can plasma cells multiply on its own? No. Can myeloma cell multiply on its own? Yes, but in this medium it is HGPRT negative. So in this HAT medium, myeloma cells, fused or unfused myeloma cells, they will not proliferate or they will not multiply. In case of plasma cells, whether they are fused or unfused, though HGPRT is present, but it will not multiply on its own, so they will eventually die. Right? So both the fused and unfused plasma cells and myeloma cells, all the 4 types of cells will die. Only the hybridoma cell in which the HGPRT is present, it will proliferate or it will multiply because of the property from the myeloma cell, and it will produce antibodies from the plasma cell property. বোঝা গেছে? Clear? এই পর্যন্ত বোঝা গেছে isolation of hybridoma cell, how it occurred? See, this is the spleen cell HGPRT positive, this is the myeloma cell HGPRT negative. After fusion, 5 different types of cells are there: unfused spleen cell, fused spleen cell, hybridoma cell, fused myeloma cell, and unfused myeloma cells. Okay, so only this type will multiply. All these 4 types will die eventually. So this is written over here. Hybrid cells have HGPRT enzyme from spleen, as well as they have the ability to multiply repeatedly as myeloma cell. So isolation of hybrid cell becomes easy because they are the only cells which survive in HAT medium. Is it clear? Now screening of hybridoma cell. What is screening? It is the ELISA screening method. It is used, which is done by incubating the hybridoma culture, in which secondary enzyme gets conjugated and formation of colored product shows positive hybridoma. So by this sentence, it means we have already studied ELISA method. Taito, in ELISA we isolate different antibodies by binding with different antigens. Formation of antigen antibody complex will give rise different colors. Taito, in ELISA what happens? There are multiple wells and all the wells are coated by specific antigens. So if we incubate all the cells with the hybridoma cells produced, so what will happen? If a specific antibody is present against that particular antigen, it will bind to it and it will stick with the antigen, forming an antigen antibody complex, and that antigen antibody complex will give rise to a signal. Okay, so we can easily separate the specific antibody or the particular monoclonal antibody by binding with different ELISA plates of antigens. Taito, I showed you that one antigen can show multiple epitopes. If we take a single epitope and stick it with the ELISA plate and we put the hybridoma mixture, it will bind with a specific antibody present in that. So we can isolate that antibody from the mixture by binding it with the antigen. Okay, so ELISA screening is done and it is separated. And now for multiplication of hybridoma cells, what happens? We culture it by in vivo or in vitro procedure. In vivo procedure, introduction of hybridoma cells into the peritoneal cavity of the animal, then from ascitic fluid of the animal, antibodies are isolated. Okay, so this is the important part, important application where we have to produce the clones. Right? Till now we had produced the hybridoma cell and we have separated it according to the screening process. Okay, now we have to multiply the production of the particular antibody. So how will we do it? We can do it by in vivo procedure or by in vitro procedure. In vivo, we introduce the hybridoma cells into the peritoneal cavity of a living animal, and in case of in vitro, the culture of hybridoma cells are done in a suitable culture media, and then antibodies are isolated and purified. That is a lab procedure, like it is an outside the body procedure. Okay, and we can store it in the liquid nitrogen. So this is in vitro procedure. From one hybridoma cell, we can culture multiple hybridoma cells or multiple antibody producing cells, or we can inject in vivo in a living animal, and production of antibodies, they are collected. So merits: it produces highly specific antibodies in abundant amount. Clones developed are far cheaper than traditionally employed animals. Obviously, the life of an animal can be saved by the cloning methods. Okay. It produces high quality products to avoid the batch to batch variation. These are the merits, and now demerits. Many patients develop immune resistance to monoclonal antibodies produced by mice, as they are foreign proteins. They are also foreign proteins. Hybridoma culture may be subjected to contamination. As this is a long process, the keeping all the instruments sterile is a bit hectic procedure, and it may lead to contamination. System is only well developed for mouse and rat, not for other animals. More than 99% cells do not survive during the fusion process. So it is a tedious process. Okay. Now application. What are the applications of hybridoma technology or the monoclonal antibodies? They are used for the serological purpose, identification of ABO blood group, for diagnosis of in detection of pregnancy, HIV or cancer. There are the markers, cassettes or immunoassays are there. Next, immunopurification, purification of individual interferon by using monoclonal antibodies, particular antibodies. Inactivation of T lymphocytes responsible for rejection of organ transplant. When a patient undergoes organ transplant, then the T lymphocytes, they become very active, and mostly organ rejection is there. So to prevent that organ rejection, inactivation of T lymphocytes are done by the application of monoclonal antibodies. Next, for removal of tumor cells of bone marrow, for treatment of acute renal failure, in case of treatment of malignant leukemic cell, B cell lymphomas, and variety of allograft rejection after transplant. So for therapy, for immunopurification, for diagnosis and serological need. So these are few names of drugs or the monoclonal antibody. All the MAB, these are monoclonal antibodies. Okay. So they are the target proteins and useful in these particular diseases. Okay. Clear? Shobai bujheche? Hybridoma technology, is it clear? Any question? Okay. Thank you.